this is Paul Milligan for Innovate TV at MediaTek 2017. I'm joined today by George from integrators Questek. Hello, George.
Hi, nice to see you, Paul.
So first of all, really, how's the sort of local market been for you in the last, say, 12 to 18 months?
Look, I think the whole world is in a bit of a depression, right? So we can't say it's wonderful, but we're keeping our head above water, and it's also about trying to be a bit more unique than the others, because there are a lot of players at the bottom end of the market, and and that's a cutthroat business. So we try to sort of elevate ourselves a bit higher up and display a bit more in the niche markets.
Are there some markets, maybe say corporate or education, that are performing better than others? Maybe retail or transport?
Not really. Educational, we believe, is going to take off, but it hasn't quite yet, because we find most schools, they need toilets and things like that before they can start thinking about audiovisual.
Fair enough, yeah. And are you seeing specific demand from your clients for specific products, or are they just looking for AV across the board?
I think there's a change in trend, the corporate market, for instance, they're moving all into these little huddle rooms and so on, away from these big, massive boardrooms. So we see the sort of LCD touchscreens and so on becoming very popular.
Sure.
And the projector business sort of falling away a bit.
Sure. I mean, is that it? Now people are looking for meeting rooms for 3 to 5 people instead of 10 to 15 people. Does that kind of hurt your bottom line somehow?
And they all want sort of Skyped up video conferencing, whiteboarding and so on.
But we're not talking about expensive AV technologies, are they? They're relatively cheap or free in some cases. Does that hurt you guys when that happens?
The technology has become quite cheap. A 65-inch touchscreen now is in the region of 50,000 Rand.
Sure.
Where 2 or 3 years ago it was 150,000 Rand. So it's becoming affordable.
And how do you guys find getting the right skilled people into your business? Is that difficult?
Well, I've been going for 28 years, so we got them over the years.
Yeah.
So that's not the biggest problem.
And how would you say, how important is it for South Africa to have a show like this?
It depends. As a distributor, it's quite a small country, so we most probably have 50 or 60 system integrators, so we know them all by name.
Yeah.
So, to go and exhibit here is a bit of a waste of time. But as a system integrator, you don't know who your clients are. And also we're looking at Africa, of course, because, these guys come to the shows, they see all the technology here. And from our last exhibition, 2 years ago, we did quite a bit of work into Africa.
Sure.
We got from Mozambique, we did a virtual set and so on. We wouldn't have got that business if we weren't exhibiting.
Okay. Yeah. And in terms of the sort of trends that you're seeing out in the marketplace, obviously you mentioned huddle rooms. Other ones are, we're seeing AV over IP become a huge thing, with people moving from HD to 4K. Are you seeing any of those here?
Not really, I think we're a little bit behind on that,
Sure.
Like 4K, we're just busy on a 10 now, where people want a 4K, but you can't get a 4K vision mixer yet, want 4K cameras, what are you going to do with them, And how are you going to store them,
Sure. So people are choosing the technology because they feel they should.
They just read it up or they Google. People in this country Google a lot,
Google is a lot to answer for. And so you feel sometimes there's an education process has to happen.
Yeah.
And that takes time.
Yeah, I think that takes time. It took us a little while to get into HD. Most of our channels are still playing out.
Sure.
The States for 65.
And with the move for AV over IP, that's obviously been happening for a while. Are you seeing that in corporate marketplaces? We've seen a lot of live streaming and things. Are you seeing demand for that?
We don't see much of that in corporate. We did a bit of that like in the old stadiums and soccer stadiums, so we did quite a bit of that. But into the corporate market, like we work for KPMG, we work for Telkom and Reserve Bank and so on. We're not seeing that quite yet.
Okay.
I think it's still early days. I think our problem was also in this country is bandwidth.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people we've spoken to today have said it's been tough, but things are starting to improve. Are you feeling positive, or are you?
I think positive, yes.
Yeah.
We've done some good projects. Actually, this last year has been one of our best years in this economy. So that's probably be lucky.
Sure. Is there a high level of quality from yourselves and some of your competitors? Are you seeing a high level of quality of AV work out here?
Yeah, I think there is. Like last year we won the Innovate Prize.
Yes,
you guys presented to us, and that was a top-class project.
Yeah.
It was world standard.
Sure.
So that does happen here.
Sure. Okay. Did that make a difference to your business, or was it more for internal purposes that what you're doing is the right way?
I think first of all it was nice for us as a small country in this world to win a prize of the international standard.
Yeah.
We're now playing in the world market, and if you win something there, so we've been very proud of it. We've been publishing it, but we've been riding on it, and I think it's put us up in in the top bracket. So it sort of gave us recognition. Actually, we've got it on the booth there. We've got this, so we're very proud of it. And yeah, I think it's done a lot of good to our company because, they recognise that we are world players. Like we're a bit remote from Europe, and people sort of think, okay, we're still walking around the lions and what have you. But, to get an award like this, we say, okay, we have reached that standard, that world standard. That's...
George, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Lovely. Nice meeting you again, Paul.